Come with me as we step inside the 45th Infantry Museum in Oklahoma City. Let's start here at the World War II. This is a photograph of Hitler and Mussolini at the Obersalzberg south of Munich in 1938. This is also a picture of a cape that was taken from Hitler's Munich apartment. And this is a sterling silver frame with a case that was by Hitler's desk in his Munich apartment. Let's step into the World War II room. Hitler wrote the book Mein Kampf. Here is a copy that was taken from his apartment.
Du, meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Authentic items from Hitler's summer residence at Berchtesgaden. The center map donated by U.C. Ferguson. Other items from Barbara Johnson, whose uncle, Lieutenant Ira Perrin Baumgartner, Military Intelligence Team, 480-6, Headquarters 21, U.S. Army Corps, was one of the first American soldiers to enter Hitler's residence. Warning of French forces of the interior to Germans that for every Frenchman killed or French town destroyed, tenfold retaliation would be exacted in Germany. The desire of FFI to post these warnings throughout France at time of Normandy invasion was denied by General Eisenhower as a violation of the Geneva Convention, and he ordered all destroyed. This original warning is one of only 3 not destroyed. It was given to Colonel Geo L. Hart Jr. C/X 11 TAC by Colonel Granville himself. This is a more somber room we are going to be stepping into. The liberation of Dachau in 1945. Paul, in our book The Last Train, would have been 6 in 1945. In our book The Last Train, there is a concentration camp that most people are afraid of going to, where most people are killed, or most Jews are killed. It is called Auschwitz. It's very, there's also another one. It's called Dachau. It's a town, but there is another concentration camp there that most people are afraid of. In this room, we're going to be talking about Auschwitz. We have been in concentration camps. We have suffered in bunkers of Auschwitz, tunnels of Dora, and quarries of Mauthausen and Flossenburg. We have made a surprise to ourselves and to others. We outlasted. Demonstrate how bodies were removed from the piles and dragged to the ovens. The persecution of Jews.
I risked my own life, but if I had to do over again, it'd be the same way.
In 1945, the Jews saw liberation. The first evidence of the horror to come was a string of about 40 railway cars on a sliding near the camp entrance. Each car was loaded with massacred human corpses, both men and women. Dante's Inferno seemed pale compared to the real hell of Dachau. Only about 200 SS troops were left to guard the camp. We captured most of those, but some were killed. Fate was much kinder to those captured SS men than they were to inmates of Dachau. Thank you for joining me today at the 45th Infantry Museum. It's very cool to witness some of Hitler's stuff, but also very sad to see the Jews' persecution in the concentration camps. Our book, The Last Train, begins in Chapter 1, Karkag, Hungary, April 1944, exactly 1 year before liberation in Dachau. Soldiers are entering Karkag. Mr. Gross wants them to come to the synagogue. Oscar, Paul, and their mother, Anu, arrive at the synagogue. They meet about why the Germans have arrived. The Jews have to sew the Star of David to their jacket. April 27th, 1944. Jews of Karkag received orders to move to the edge of town. The Nazis are building a ghetto. A ghetto is a part of a city, especially for a slum area, occupied by a minority group or groups. A soldier knocks on the door. He has all Jews line up outside. Germans force them to march. June 1944. They arrive by truck to Snoznak, Hungary. Gendarmes order them to get out. Why does going east frighten everyone? Oscar asked her. Because that's where the concentration camps are. No one ever comes back from those camps. A concentration camp is a place where large numbers of people, especially political prisoners or members of persecuted minorities, are deliberately imprisoned. They were headed on a train and they had no idea where it was taking them. June 1944, Vienna, Austria. Out! Everyone out! A soldier ordered. People are everywhere. Paul lost his mom and his family. Paul reunites with Oscar and Anu in Chapter 11. Strasshof concentration camp, Austria, July 1944. They are forced to be washed in freezing cold water. They sleep also in hard, cold barracks. Guntersdorf, Austria, July 1944. Paul and his family arrive at a farm and are forced to work on the farm. Paul worked carrying water. Oscar and other children helped the adults. Paul turned 6 on October 30th, 1944. Just a couple months later, they were transported back to Strasshof concentration camp, Austria, in December 1944. They arrive at Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, Germany, December 7th, 1944. They sipped on molasses for food. February 1945. Paul snuck out because he thought it was a game to sneaking out on his mother to find Uncle Elamir at the men's barracks at the concentration camp. Uncle Elamir stole a knife from a Nazi soldier, and he used it in a block of wood from the barracks to teach Paul how to whittle. March 1945. Paul and an older boy discovered a British plane flying above the concentration camp. When they thought no hope was left, they found some. Behind them, there was a German plane firing at them. The British plane spun a circle around them and shot down the German plane. They were all excited, but the guards they found behind them said, back to your barracks, all of you. April 9th, 1945. Everyone knows that Germany is losing the war, but Paul and his family are put into a boxcar. April 13th, 1945, Fausenberg, Germany. When the tank shows up, they do not know if they're saved or if they are doomed. April 26th, 1945, the Jews are slowly unloaded from their boxcar. Later in life, Paul ended up marrying Luna Arado and raising 3 children. Rona is the author of this book study, The Last Train.